bags and trapper keepers, it's back to school time!
Back to school time! Back to school time! Back to school time!
Never before has any phrase been uttered by mankind that would instill such fear and dread into the hearts of children. A waking nightmare that would exemplify the exact definition of woe and loathing. Yes, back to school time. Quite possibly the worst and most emotionally painful time of year for a kid. And oh man, even saying that phrase as an adult fills me with dread. As a kid, it was a terrible time of year. I mean, you just spent the past couple of months doing whatever you wanted, which was pretty much nothing, to going to a place you didn't want to be with a very rigorous schedule surrounded by people you hated and people who hated you. Now, of course, everyone's personal school experience varies, but for the most part, nobody wanted to go back to school. It's sort of hard to say that whether it was the fact of going back to school or the fact that the summer was over. Which one was more depressing? I couldn't tell you. I like to think it was a little concoction of both. Well, really, one means the other no matter how you slice it, and the end of summer is just always depressing. And there really is nothing in the world of entertainment that represented this emotional response to the end of summer more perfectly than the Nickelodeon special, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, What We Did on Our Summer Vacation, which first aired on Nickelodeon September 8th, 1991, and quickly became tattooed on everyone's souls. Yeah, this was an immediate hit and still continues to be a hit. Everybody loves this, mainly because it speaks directly to our emotions concerning being a kid and the ending of summer. It was very relatable, and it's still very relatable because the ending of summer sucks no matter what age you are. Though it is rather funny and delightful, this special does sort of have a depressing undertone. Because, and I'm not sure how they did it, they accurately captured the feeling of loss that comes with the end of summer. The Adventures of Pete and Pete began life as a series of serial shorts that served as bumpers in between other Nickelodeon programming. And these shorts would become so popular that they would eventually give way to a series of the Adventures of Pete and Pete full-length specials, just like What We Did on Our Summer Vacation. And these specials would be so successful, The Adventures of Pete and Pete would eventually have its own show, spanning 3 seasons with a total of 34 episodes. But it could be said that none of these shows had the same emotional response as What We Did on Our Summer Vacation. Though the show was very successful in its own regard, they really captured lightning in a bottle with that end of summer special. Despite this special's popularity, it wouldn't be released on VHS until 3 years after its initial airing. Yeah, it was released on a compilation VHS in 1994 by Sony Wonder, which is a division of Sony Music, which is a division of Sony, if you couldn't figure that out. Nowadays, this tape isn't that easy to find, and it's rather expensive. I mean, this would be cool to have and all, but $75? I have a hard time thinking anything is worth $75, especially not something I could just watch on YouTube for free. So The Adventures of Pete and Pete, What We Did on Our Summer Vacation, captures perfectly the feeling of loss of the end of summer, but oddly enough, it doesn't mention going back to school really at all. And you think they would have, considering the two go hand in hand, but then again, it was a program geared towards kids, so they more than likely did not want to paint going back to school in a negative light, because reality already did a fine job of that.